On me.
Found it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gotta be like
Ridge oh my god, I got the AR!
Hey guys, the Broken Rain Incursion just came out and I was able to clear it within a few hours of it dropping. I was lucky enough to get the new exotic rifle on my very first run out of the chest, and I wanted to give you guys a few builds that will make it easier for you to take on the incursion. As always, your best friend is going to be communication with your team. Without it, you can run into some difficulties regardless of the build you have. So mic up and let's get into it. The first build is going to be a fresh introduction into the PvE space, as tank builds have not been necessary in most content to include escalations, but in the incursion it feels almost mandatory. I absolutely love playing tank and wish more of the PvE content revolved around having one instead of having a simple DPS check. You can ignore all the prototypes on my build because they do not imply the incursion. For this build I am running the Catharsis mask, which you can replace with the Chill Out mask if you have it for more protection from elites. The point man named Gila chest piece for perfect vanguard. This can save your team or just provide a nice cushion of bonus armor, plus your shield is invincible for the first 5 seconds. Next I'm running the improvised holster and glove because it allows you to slot more protection from elites onto it. I'm also running the Bellstone backpack for armor regen, and I have an adrenaline rush rolled onto it. And finally I have the named Emperor's Guard knee pads for the extra armor regen. I am running hazard and armor regen on every piece, but you could also run the bighorn and sub to hazard for headshot damage, but I prefer having the Scorpio to CC and amplify my team's damage. I am running the survivalist specialization for extra protection from elites to give my team damage to status affected enemies and for easy sledge procs through their fire grenades. Plus in a pinch I can pop my team an AoE armor kit. I am running the shield and the reviver hive to drop to my teammates because you should not be dying with this build. Here are my stats overall for this build. Alright, my second build is my DPS powerhouse, which is an all red strikers with overdogs and Seska knee pads. I swap between the bighorn and the Lexington with killer depending on the room I'm fighting. The ACS is great to get your striker stacks up, and then your AR is great for high DPS. I wouldn't recommend the escalation setup with the LMG because enemies die quickly in the incursion and it takes a long time to reload. You'll get more value out of an AR. I run gunner mainly for the armor on kill and fire rate on kill, going with the decoy to draw aggro off me and reviver hive if I go down. Crit chance and crit damage is rolled on every piece, and here are my stats for this build. Alright guys, my last build is my future initiative healer build. I have a 4-piece future to include the chest piece, BTSU gloves to reset my hive and skills, and to give my team overcharge. Lastly, I have the named setup backpack to proc opportunistic with the Scorpio, giving my team 15% amp damage from all sources plus the 20% from all sources from the Scorpio, which effectively gives my team 35% extra damage from all sources on just those 2 pieces. I'm also running the survivalist for the damage to status affected enemies, protection from bleeds, and outgoing healing. It enables me to proc sledge easier as well with those fire grenades. I have skill repair and skill haste rolled on every piece, and alternatively you can run the Birdie's quick fix backpack for fast reses, and swap out the knee pads for the cloak for reduced threat, and then add a future piece to your glove. I don't think that setup is necessary for the incursion because everyone should have a hive and you have a tank giving you bonus armor. Here are my skill stats, and here are the rest of the stats for this build. Alright, there you guys have it. 3 of the top builds to get you dominating the incursion and itching you closer to that exotic rifle. If you need to farm any of the pieces of my builds, you can do so in Countdown or Retaliations. Let me know, have you gotten the exotic rifle yet, and what are your thoughts on it? Drop your comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!